How's it going, guys? And welcome to Theme Park Shark Live. This was an emergency live stream today. We had to come on really quick. Joined with Dylan from Theme Park Obsession, of course.
Hey, everyone.
We have a lot of things to talk to you guys as well. Most importantly, I am also joined with Jake, who is my co-partner in things, of course, here at the Theme Park Shark. Jake, let's make sure we can hear you coming through.
Test, 1, 2.
Perfect. So hopefully all of you guys can hear all three of us well. Definitely let us know in the comments to make sure all is good. We have a lot to run through with you guys. A lot has happened.
There is a lot.
Which the amazing thing is, I think if we would have looked back about 24 hours ago, I think we all had a potential hint that this could happen. But I don't think all of us were convinced that it was going to happen this fast.
No, not this fast. No way.
So I'm going to turn to you, Dylan, first. Immediate reaction about, 4, 5, 6 hours ago when you heard the Disneyland news first. Where was your where were your thoughts at that point?
I mean, I had a feeling it was going to happen for sure. I just didn't think it was going to happen this soon. And when they made the announcement, I was like, wow, okay, this is definitely something serious. I mean, that's a big decision, very huge decision. And I was expecting them to announce it after the weekend. That's when I thought.
Oh, and they're saying we're quiet, so I'm going to update them. Keep talking. I'm going to try to fix it for you. And you might
have to
get closer.
Mic problems. Can people hear me now?
Well, fine.
I'm curious. Sounds kind of weird.
This will probably do it.
They're like, oh, something wasn't plugged in.
Talk a few times.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Are they saying yes?
No one yet. Hello. Test 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Say yes if you can. No if you can't. Even though I wouldn't even be able to tell.
All right, sorry about that, guys. We should be good. We should be. Oh, wow.
It's all right. It's been a hectic day.
This is like the perfect example for today.
Let's see. They say, Ryan says better.
Better.
Better, that's better.
Is it? Hold on.
I can hear Dylan. Okay. Too loud. Fine tuning. That's better. Okay.
Should be better. Should be much better. Sorry about that, guys. Wow. It's been a hectic day, as you can see. First of all, there is about 100 of you in here, so thank you so much for being here. If I have to adjust again, please let me know, and I will adjust for you guys. We all should be good. We should be good.
I think we're solid.
We're good. Perfect. All right, so Jake, I'm going to turn to you then and make sure that they can hear you as well. Tell me your initial reaction about a few hours ago when you heard the first thing out of Universal Hollywood. I'm sorry, the first one was Disneyland, so I'm sorry, go ahead with Disneyland.
I was not surprised. By no means did it catch me off guard or anything along those lines.
Why were you not surprised?
Saw it coming from a mile away. I mean, let's be real here.
Okay, so
being canceled. It'd be like a crime against humanity to not close theme parks.
I mean, it would be incredibly irresponsible. The governor made an announcement today in California that anything over 250 people is not recommended. So theme parks are definitely in that category.
I kept thinking, for me personally, it was strange for theme parks to operate under the assumption with how many people are coming to theme parks right now from all walks of life. I talked to Dylan about this. Every country imaginable is coming to theme parks here in America. So to operate under the assumption when the NBA is stopping, MLB is postponing things, NHL is stopping, schools across the board are announcing, what they're announcing. For theme parks to operate under the assumption that at least one guest hasn't come through their park that is infected with coronavirus, it seemed a little irresponsible for them to continue. And personally, I'm glad that we are at this point today. As much as it may hurt a theme park enthusiast, it's a responsible decision.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks for sure, but it is the right thing to do, especially with what is happening. And I don't think it's going to get better anytime soon. I think it's going to stay like this for a little bit until they reassess, all the information that's coming in from the health organization. So
keep going, Jake.
But
I just got to say, Dustin, you have a very nice shirt on.
Yeah.
What'd they say?
You look great.
You have a very nice shirt on.
Oh, thank you. Ask if they can hear you in the chat right now.
Is my mic not working?
They keep saying you're low. So
Who, me or you?
It's me. I think it's my mic. It might be because I'm not close enough. Can you guys hear me now? It's too quiet. Dylan's mic isn't working. Can't hear Dylan.
Still right now?
Yeah.
What?
That's odd.
Dylan sounds far. Yep. We hear him.
What if I'm like up here?
Kind of low, better.
So that's a little better if I get closer. I mean, I could talk like really loud. Is that better?
I think we're gonna go for a different approach.
And we might have to go with a different, just in the middle there.
I have a feeling that it's only coming from this. Super impromptu, guys.
Yeah, sorry, y'all. I mean, it happens.
But anyway, I was at Universal yesterday and just thinking I'm in a park surrounded by 45, 50,000 other people. There's no way that none of them did not have coronavirus.
I mean, there's definitely there has to be more cases than what's being reported.
For sure.
I mean,
sneaking up on.
You can't test millions of people at once. It's impossible. You have to test as much as you can and then go from there. And you just spilt your drink. Oh, it's happening! Ah.
What a show this has become.
I cannot hear Dylan.
Wow. I have no idea if this is gonna work.
You're saying that my mic might be off.
No, I think it is. But as long as this is getting both of us, I think we're good. Share the working mic. I think this is a good idea. You might have some mic up top, but I think this will help you guys. I'm assuming this will do the trick. Is that helping?
Is that better?
Yeah, I think that'll do it. Test from me, Dylan, you want to go?
Test, 1, 2, 3.
Are we good? Hopefully we can move on from the audio. Just give us some yeses now.
Okay, we got a question down here by the
Way better,
Confusion.
perfect. Go ahead, Jake.
Disney World Orlando has never been closed for this long. What's this mean for Disney revenue? And will certain construction projects get postponed?
It means they're going to lose $1 billion. That's what it means.
Yeah, they're going to be losing a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
That's a no question for sure. And this will have a long-term effect on all of the theme park industry, especially parks like SeaWorld. I don't know how it's going to affect them. It's going to hit them pretty hard.
SeaWorld,
as far as construction projects go, I'd assume some projects might be put on hold temporarily as they let this thing pass, and then they'll jump back in and start construction again. But no long-term construction effects, if I had to take a guess myself.
I mean, if anything, I think the projects happening at the parks are going to continue. It's just their concern is the public. They don't want thousands of people in one particular space at any given time. So I mean, the construction workers might be something completely separate. So the projects might still be ongoing, and they can just finish them and then open them when the parks reopen, whenever they announce it. Or it could be. I mean, we don't know. I have no idea.
Expedition Theme Park made a comment that says once Peacock Live was done, it was all downhill from there. That's kind of that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, that was. I mean, once we started getting information about that, it was a domino effect. It was going to go throughout the whole entire industry.
This is another interesting comment. He says, "Bye bye Halloween Horror Nights budget."
Oh yeah, like that's.
Ooh.
I mean, because these places are losing tons of money. I mean. Again, it is what it is. They have to do what they have to do in order to combat community spread. But on the flip side, these places are going to be losing lots of money. I mean, Disney alone has lost hundreds of millions of dollars just based on the closure from their offshore parks. So now that Disneyland and Walt Disney World are going to be closing now as well, that's hundreds of millions of dollars in lost revenue.
So what do you think about this comment? Janine's saying they shut down parks but not resorts. Do you think that's an issue? Do you think that's something they should have done as well? I'll go to you, Jake, on that one. What's your initial take on that one?
I don't think this is as big of a deal as closing the parks is because in the resorts, you don't have these big gatherings like you do inside of the theme parks. You still have some gathering, but not these large, huge...
You're not stuck in big queue lines. You're not touching the same...
restraints.
I understand. You would have to shut down hotels across America to kind of justify that, which I don't know. I don't think that's even been really discussed.
I mean,
yet.
the hotels at Disneyland are closing as well.
Okay, so there you go. But is that not true at Disney World, Jake, or what's the official word on that at this point?
About the resorts?
Yes.
Honestly, I have no idea.
Okay.
I've been busy these past few hours. So
everything's just moving and moving.
I mean, it's all real time. Like we're learning this information all together.
Dylan just on his way over here was sending me updates that were happening literally as he was driving over here. So this is like this to the minute that we're trying to come to you guys and just get this going. The reason why we have a microphone up in the middle of the shot, but
yeah, it's last minute, but it's I don't know.
It's important. It's important to talk about. There's a lot of
crazy
questions. So there's a lot of things that people need to be informed on. So I'm just scrolling through your comments right now, trying to.
Universal Orlando's hotels and Universal City Walk will remain open.
There you go. See, so there are hotels, at least on the Universal side, that are remaining open. Our City Walk here in Hollywood as well is also remaining open as well, isn't
City
it?
Walk's remaining. Well, Disney World said that their hotels will remain open until further notice. Disney Springs and Walt Disney World and Disney Village and Disneyland Paris will remain open for their hotels and stuff as well.
This is the update as well from Expedition Theme Park. Resorts and Springs open. So many international guests in those resorts, it would be a nightmare.
Yeah, and if it gets to that point, then they're gonna have to make that executive decision. But that is a huge decision. I mean, the decision that's happened today in the past couple hours was a massive decision. I mean, it is something that you don't just go into a meeting and go, oh yeah, this is what we're gonna do. I mean, this is a lot of people talking and figuring out what is going to be the best possible scenario. For both the guests and, of course, the company.
Absolutely. This is kind of an interesting question I think would hit home to all three of us. It says with all the theme park content creators that depend on this to make a living, what do you do now?
So for them.
I mean, you become creative.
Yeah, Dylan and I had this discussion earlier, and you have to become creative. Your content... Go ahead, Jake. What are you saying?
Out of luck. Got to find real jobs.
No. not yet, at least.
That's what we get for piggybacking off the back of real companies.
That's true. Dylan and I have discussed it's time to get creative. Your content has to adapt. You have to figure out how to make content in these times because there's not going to be a shortage of viewers. That's not the problem. It's the shortage of content and the ideas behind the content. So yeah, I think that's kind of where you stood as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and for me, my content is, 99.9% of it is physically in the parks, providing that information as I'm there. So seeing that these are closing is definitely a blow to the content. But yeah, you got to be creative, and there's ways to provide information that's valuable to my viewers and your viewers and everyone else's viewers. Just by getting information from the websites and the companies themselves. So, there's ways to do it. It's just we have to really, there needs to be a little bit more thought into how that's delivered.
This is a question I'm going to throw to you, Jake. The Confusion's asking us, what happens to The Secret Life of Pets and Bourne Stuntacular at this point? I think you're definitely have some expertise on Bourne. You've pretty much dropped the biggest piece of news so far on Bourne in general with that exploding door video. So, at least in your opinion, what's going on with Bourne?
So Bourne was actually supposed to have its grand opening today.
Wow.
Obviously, that's not going to happen.
No.
And I think as soon as the parks reopen, either the day that they reopen or within that week of reopening, maybe 2 weeks, we'll see those rides and attractions open. I don't know if they want to open them the same day that the parks reopen or if they're going to wait a bit.
Right.
So they can get more publicity. This is a good one. I saw this question pop up. Kind of not on the same lines of theme parks, but in the entertainment industry. WWE's Wrestlemania in Tampa Bay. That is a huge event. 100,000 people in one football stadium. I expect that to be canceled or postponed. Definitely postponed at minimum.
Well, first of all, Johnny Hex, thank you for that super chat. But go ahead, Jake. We can't tell you how much we appreciate that. That means a lot.
I've actually been to 2 WrestleManias in my life, so it's sad to see a WrestleMania canceled or postponed because it is one crazy event. Definitely something you can see if they're not even interested in wrestling.
There's a lot being, postponed and closed. Yeah. Broadway just canceled. Their Pantages is closed. All the theme parks now. And I saw another question in the chat, about Knott's Berry Farm, and I think Knott's Berry Farm is going to follow suit as well. You have to. These big heavy hitters in the entertainment industry are shutting their doors for a few weeks, and you can't just stay open because someone else is closed. You have to follow suit, or else it's bad. It's a bad look.
It doesn't look good for any company at this point, thinking about how many different sporting leagues have closed, how many schools are making announcements, how many theme parks are now making announcements, especially if you are in the theme park realm and you haven't made a decision yet. I would just expect that decision is just a matter of time at this point. They're not going to stay open.
It's better safe than sorry.
Correct.
Safe than sorry.
We do have a guest coming on from Thrill Geek, so I'm going to do my best to get that going as you and Jake, I guess, continue. Jake, any thoughts as I get our guests in here?
People are talking about sporting events being canceled. That has personally affected me.
Yeah.
I'm a NCAA rower, and all of our events have been canceled for the rest of the year.
That's true. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, it's bonkers. This is insane. It's definitely an unprecedented move from everybody.
I think I got Jake out of here on accident.
Uh-oh.
Let me...
He's like, hey.
Yeah, Jake's frozen, so I'll just cue to us. But yeah, go. If you see any questions, absolutely feel free to address them.
Let's see here. Amusement parks are hot zones for these situations. Yeah, I mean, they totally are. You got to think these tens of thousands of people are in these places at one time, and the risk of community spread is very high in places like that. I mean, using Disneyland as an example, look at how many people are close to to each other, just waiting for a parade or a show. I mean, you're right next to somebody. So if someone's sick or not feeling well, that it definitely affects people. So it's
Absolutely.
It is a very smart move, but it's definitely one of those like wow moments. Like today has been insane.
Can't hear you.
Clint, can you hear us?
I can hear him.
Clint, can you hear us right now? No? No? Can you hear us? No?
I can't
That's
hear him
really
now.
interesting.
Or actually, hold on. Let me call you back.
Okay, no problem. Sorry about that, guys. We were trying to get in our next guest here, but he's going to call us back once he gets that situated. Jake, if you are watching, call us back.
We'll
definitely get you in there.
What's happening?
First, I noticed we had a few super chats from JP Land 21, so definitely thank you, JP, for those super chats. Means a lot. We have a question here. How do we feel about the stock market and Bitcoin crashes? One beyond my head at this point, but if you want to tackle that.
I mean, Dow Jones is dropping for sure, so that's Disney stock is low. Everyone's stock is low. It's scary. It really is scary for all these big companies because they're not really sure, and the supply chains are going to be interesting here in the next couple weeks to see how that goes. So yeah, I mean, stock market is not looking too hot right now.
Definitely not. Clint, do we have you now? Can you hear us? Perfect. Let me
Awesome.
get them situated so they know exactly what's going on here. So, trying to get rid of that. There we go.
Did you guys want to do video? It doesn't matter to me.
It's totally your decision. If you want to go video, absolutely. If not, we can proceed as we have. But totally your call.
I'm like a Skype virgin here. How do I? Oh, I just hit the icon.
Just hit the
right?
camera. Yep, that's all you got to do.
There we go.
If you can
Perfect.
see what's happening on the screen right now. It's like I'm like sitting here going like, oh my god, what's happening?
All right, guys. So we have Clint from Thrill Geek in here with us. So if you do have questions, keep throwing them on, and we'll discuss it. So first of all, Clint, thank you so much for being here. Can't tell you how much it means to us to have you here first and foremost.
Nice.
Sure, no problem. Crazy day.
That's about to say the least for sure. So immediately from the get-go, your initial reaction, I guess just a few hours ago when you heard the initial news here out of LA for Disneyland.
It all happened so quick. It literally with Disneyland, I was shocked, I guess, to simply put it. I wasn't expecting, let alone just Disneyland, all these closures to happen right now. I was kind of in this mindset that things, if any closures were going to happen, it was going to be over a periodic time, and this was just everything at once.
It's crazy to me because just yesterday, when we first got the news of the NBA, and as things started to kind of go down that rabbit hole, people were saying, I think the theme parks are probably next.
Yeah.
And I remember responding at that point, I said, expect an announcement within the next 72 hours. And even at that point, just yesterday, people were they didn't really believe that. They were like, I don't think so.
Yeah. It was it was easier to swallow Disneyland because obviously their demographic is more pass holders and everything like that. So I get that closure, but I was still trying to wrap my head around how they were going to close Disney World. It's not like a hurricane where everybody can hunker down in a hotel for 24 hours and this thing is over, you know?
Well, there's so many people on property at Disney World. I mean, Disney World, the size of the property is insane. So I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of people. Controlling that is a feat in itself.
You're getting a lot of hellos so far. People are saying, well, what a crossover. so people are enjoying this so far. I'm just scrolling through questions and comments here that we have so far, trying to see what we got. Brady said he watched your stream earlier, Dylan.
Thank you,
so that's awesome. There's a lot of be safes out there. I think there's a lot of uncertainty, but the big question becomes, these parks tried to give us a time frame. They tried to tell us how long they think this is going to last. In your opinion, what are the odds it actually lasts the time frame that they are predicting at this point?
Well, it seems that across the board, the consensus was the end of March. So it seems like that all these companies are in agreement that this thing's going to be blown over in a matter of weeks. I think it all just depends on how things are handled with this virus, and if it, luckily, the cat never got out of the bag, so to speak, with any sort. I mean, we had the discussion of, I guess a few of the what's the fire department, Reedy Creek. I guess some of them had contact with people with the virus and that sort of thing. So I think it's good that they're doing these closures now before, like I said, the cat got out of the bag and everything did go crazy. And it was somebody compared it to, gosh, I don't remember what it was. I think it was a flu outbreak at Disneyland or something like that.
We had measles.
It might have been the measles.
Yeah.
There was a big outbreak of something at Disneyland, and that got all crazy. So it's good to see that the parks are doing this closing now and, kind of keeping things controlled. As far as how long I see it'll as long as that'll take, I it's hard to say. It's really I'm still in shock that this happened so fast. And these next couple of weeks are going to be very, very interesting.
Kind of an interesting point, too, not only for Universal Hollywood, but also the Orlando Resort. They're about to do Bourne over there here in Hollywood. We're right around the corner of opening Pets. We had our preview literally in 2 days for annual pass holders.
I saw the media preview got postponed, too. So
literally, like across the board, it was a very unique time for all this to happen. So the question now is becoming, a lot of people are asking me if we think the parks are going to reopen with all of these attractions on day one, or do we think they're going to kind of take a moment to catch their breath? Another attraction that was on the plan kind of around that time for coming back is the Jurassic World refurb. So there's it's an interesting time frame that this is potentially going to happen. So in your opinion, do you think they come back with these attractions online, or is there going to be a moment to kind of catch your breath?
I think with new attractions and that sort of thing, I would expect them to kind of choreograph a time frame of when those are going to open. I don't think it's going to be okay, this coronavirus thing's done, here's all these new rides. I see I see the parks almost doing I think obviously getting the parks back open is first priority.
Sure.
There's going to be like a phased opening for all these attractions.
Yeah, I'm almost thinking, and then once we get to that point of the parks back open, and that's at a certain point, then I think we'll start seeing announcements of, the press event for Secret Life of Pets Unleashed and other things kind of coming thereafter. I don't see anything of the sort of, okay, the park's back open. Here's the new Jurassic World. Here's all this. I think it's going to be a strategic, plan once we get to that point of the parks being back open.
Because then it's like you think if they open up all these attractions at once, with the park opening, I mean, you can imagine. I mean, the parks would reach capacity within minutes. It would be insane.
Literally, just before I got on with you guys here, I just thought of another thing over here on the East Coast. Universal Orlando's closing until the end of March. So does that mean Mardi Gras is basically done?
Oh yeah, see, like all these different
Mardi
specialty
Gras,
events.
yeah, you got Mardi Gras until the end of the month, and if they're closed at the end of the month, we're done with Mardi Gras.
Well, and then it's like with the Food and Wine Festival at California Adventure, the upcoming Boysenberry Festival at Knott's. Like, there's a lot.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're gonna just say, I don't know. I feel like there's so much money invested in those events that they might just say, hey, we're gonna do Mardi Gras in July, or we're gonna do the festival.
Do you extend it, or I just none of this has ever happened. So this is all like foreign to even us seasoned bloggers and stuff. This is unprecedented. Just all these parks closing, and I just it's insane.
Universal Hollywood even had events of their own. They had their own food and wine on the way.
Yeah, that's now postponed.
And then Peacock Live, which was already postponed, we don't necessarily know the exact reasons, but as of right now, it's making a lot of sense that it could be definitely because of this as well. One question that's come in so far is, do we think that across the board, general construction may stop at these parks? One particular example that was brought up in this question was Epcot, or do we foresee those crew workers and things like that still working at these parks, or is that done now as well?
I don't know with construction. I would imagine that construction and stuff like that would continue because that's not hundreds of people in a contained environment. It's
that's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah, I don't see anything like that stopping. And somebody also brought up, this ideally would be the perfect time for theme parks to do maintenance on rides. Hagrid's, Universal could work on Hagrid's. It's been running a lot better lately, but they could use this next couple weeks to get that thing fine-tuned and tweaked and ready to rock and roll when the parks open back up. So but as far as construction, we got the Jurassic Park construction going on over here at Islands of Adventure. That's starting to really pick up and pace. They're starting to pick up the pace with that. I don't see them stalling on that because of this whole coronavirus thing. If anything, I would expect them to pick things up.
Yeah, I mean, like I said on my live stream not too long ago, like you said, it's the perfect time to get as much done at the parks as possible now that the guests are not going to be there. And
exactly,
if they need to use this time to sanitize and deep clean every single attraction, then that's what they're going to do. I mean,
right.
At Disneyland, if they need to do a lot of painting, then they can do it now. They can sanitize, they can wash everything, they can upgrade what they need to upgrade. And with these construction projects, these are multi-million-dollar investments that are on strict timelines. So if they need to get the attraction open, I mean, they're going to do what they can to finish the build out. And like you said, I mean, it's not like there's thousands of construction workers in a confined space. It's a lot different.
Yeah, I don't see them, also canning, construction progress. But me personally, I would like to see the parks really take these next couple weeks off to, like you said, do maintenance, do touch-ups, do whatever they have to do. They're painting Cinderella Castle right now.
Right.
The new paint job, that'll help them get that done. So, I would like to see them. It'll be nice to go back to the parks after these couple weeks off for everybody and see what happened, what they got done, and so. And
that's if they open. We still don't even know.
Yeah, like we said earlier, we don't know if this 2-week thing is going to be, or this coronavirus thing gets bigger and it's extended. This is insane.
It seems across the board, industry to industry, people have tried to be more positive than not. For instance, looking immediately at NCAA basketball, they were just going to go forward with games without a crowd, and then you had to take the next step until finally the entire tournament's canceled. So I'm kind of wondering if that's a similar scenario we're going to see here with the parks, where they're trying to take that positive approach. Oh, we're only a few weeks out. Don't worry about a thing. We'll come back in a month, and then it could turn into a similar scenario where, hey, this is moving
it could
kind of
grow.
down the line. Yeah.
I think that's kind of why they close the parks now, to give it that, to almost kind of give them a buffer, so to speak, of a couple weeks to just kind of see where this thing's going to go, if it's going to continue, I think the whole panic is ridiculous, personally.
That's the toilet paper buying is silly.
This,
we
Barry
bought the toilet paper and the theme park's still closed, guys.
Barry and I recorded last night. We're actually going to record a podcast as soon as I'm done here with you guys. But we actually talked about that. I was like, the panic that's set in is ridiculous. Yeah, take precautions. Everybody's saying wash your hands and everything, but the panic has gotten out of hand. But I do agree with the parks closing. It's the right decision, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens over these next couple weeks.
Well, Clint, I can't thank you enough so much for being here. I don't want to take up too much of your time tonight, and I do want to let you get to your to your podcast. If there is anything else, I guess like a parting message or just something. Obviously, there is a little bit of a hint of panic within the community as there is. So
ever so slightly.
Is there any?
Yeah.
Go for it.
There's I'm on Twitter a lot, obviously, because Thrill Geek and everything, and there's a lot of people panicking and freaking out, like I just mentioned, and it can set in pretty easy, and I would honestly personally take these next couple weeks off to just kind of, if you're an annual pass holder, if you're a seasoned veteran, so to speak, that goes to the parks. Take this time off and enjoy it. Do something else.
No.
That's true as it is, right?
Yeah, just take a break. We get so involved with these theme parks. I honestly think these next couple weeks are going to be, aside from people that run blogs and websites and that sort of thing. But take a break and catch your breath. And if you want to keep up to date on all these things, I'm doing my best. I have one article on Thrill Geek that's just basic updates from the parks themselves. I'm not one to post, clickbait and this sort of thing. That's one thing that people have enjoyed with Thrill Geek is, we just kind of report the facts and
for sure
don't really beat around the bush, so to speak. But keep tuned to all the, I would say go to Thrill Geek, but keep tuned to all the official social media handles of all the theme parks, Walt Disney World, Universal's, and, just keep up to date on it and take a break, take a breather. We'll be okay. We'll get through this.
Well, Clint, again, I just want to thank you so much for coming on. We do appreciate your time as always. Just as he said, guys, definitely go check out Thrill Geek for all those updates. He is fantastic with what he does over there. So definitely go check him out. And if you can, take a break yourself and step away and enjoy the sunshine.
My wife and kids will love it. We're actually leaving on Saturday for vacation. We're going up to Tennessee to visit my mother-in-law.
Oh,
fantastic. We're gonna try and do Dollywood if that stays open.
Yeah.
So
keep an eye on it for sure.
It's a ticking time bomb, I guess, at this point.
So, anyways.
Well, be safe on your trip. Have a great time. And again, we can't thank you enough for coming on.
No problem, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yep, take care.
Easy.
You too.
Well, that was fun.
That was great.
Yeah. Let's see what Expedition Theme Park just threw in here. I wonder what Server's going to do without the tips during this time. Disney hopefully won't pay them the $6 whatever wage during the closure. Restaurant servers. That's a good question. We have heard across the board that these parks are trying to pay wages.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, that's fantastic that they're stepping up and saying, hey, we're going to pay you. We're going to take care of you while we do this. But the question is the park extends their closure, how long will that pay be there for? How long are the companies going to pay the employees while the company's not turning a profit or pulling in revenue?
It's a very nice gesture. It's a good thought.
Yeah,
it's a good thing they're doing. Let me get Jake back in here for you guys too. Cool. Perfect. All right, so we do have Jake back, guys. Sorry about the confusion getting you off there when we had Clint in here. I thought I was going to have both you guys, but I do apologize, Jake. Hopefully they can hear you just fine. Let me make sure Jake can hear me. Can you hear me, Jake? No?
Yep, good.
Perfect. All right, Jake can hear me now. All right, still rolling through the comments. First of all, a lot of super chats have come through, so I do want to thank you guys for sending through those super chats. I'm trying to look at them all right now. I'm trying to look at all your comments right now. If you are in here and you haven't left a thumbs up already on the live stream, definitely do that as well. Helps the live stream stay healthy. It helps YouTube keep pushing it out, and it'll get more people in here discussing and getting the proper information that they need at this time. Let me see what else is going on here. This is the question. What's going to happen with opening day roller coasters like Pantheon and Iron Gwazi? You have an opinion on that, Jake?
Just push back.
Yeah.
Good thing with Pantheon and Iron Gwazi, they were definitely not ready to open anytime soon. So hopefully they're ready to go by the time the parks reopen, so they could maybe reopen with the parks.
That's the hope across the board.
Yeah.
Just as we were talking earlier with Clint too, there is this hope that the parks are going to be able to do things around the clock without guests in the park if they do go forward with employees still there working. That's a thought as well that just here in Hollywood for Jurassic World, maybe that refurb doesn't take as long now. Yeah, that could be a quick refurb now if they do have people working across the board. But the question is if they're doing that or not.
Yeah, because they don't have to worry about people inside the park, so they can work around the clock versus some of those heavy items that they might need to be installing. They could just install at any time now.
Any new news or things that you've seen break since we've been live, Jake?
Exhibition Theme Park, who's I'm pretty sure watching, he tweeted that Mardi Gras at Universal will most likely just be over.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense for that event to continue. Seeing all the parks that are closing today, seeing the events that have closed here at Hollywood so far, or at least been postponed, doesn't make a lot of sense for that event to continue, I would assume.
We don't have any news out of Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, do we?
I haven't looked. You could get on that if you want, but I haven't looked yet. And if anyone in the chat knows anything about Busch Gardens yet, I would love to know. This is an interesting comment because I do know that Chris works at Knott's, and he says he still hasn't heard from his work, Knott's.
Yeah, I wonder if Knott's is, again, these are big decisions, so I wonder if they're just taking the time to think about this evening, and then tomorrow they might make an announcement. I know right now I just looked at Legoland made an announcement. This was about 56 minutes ago. And it says, while we're currently implementing our rainy day policy, we are planning on opening tomorrow, 3/13. Any further changes will be communicated on our resort's website, legoland.com/California. So they'll be open, but I would assume that in the next couple days they'll have an announcement as well about a closure, depending on the information that they get.
Nerds and Beyond, who is a fantastic friend of mine and a new contributor at my blog, said nothing for Busch Gardens yet. That is Briar, everyone. If you don't know, that's Briar. She's fantastic. But nothing yet. So thank you, Briar. Thank you for that update. I appreciate it.
I do have a pair of Busch Gardens tickets that expire on April 1st, so maybe I'll get to put those to use.
I'm assuming, if anything, you should get a little extension on that if the park does close. You would hope, right? You would assume and hope.
You would assume. Kind of screwed up if they didn't.
Yeah, hopefully they will take care of you guys on that sense. Again, still have over 100 of you in here. Thank you so much for coming to live stream. Dylan and I are very thankful to have you guys in here. This is a bigger and more, this is just a bigger live stream than I tend to try to do here with everyone that we've brought in and all the things that we're doing. Had the mic issue, obviously, but moving forward, and I appreciate you guys being in here. And this is, hopefully you guys do appreciate this and like what we're trying to do. It's something much bigger and different. And I think that's the message across the board for the next month is doing things bigger and different.
And like with today, we're trying to get out as much information as we can for those that just aren't aware. And then that's why I'm looking at the phone down here. There's so much information. It's insane.
This is a question from Undead Studios asking us, by the time Avengers Campus is supposed to open, will coronavirus be gone or at least lowered down? For any of us, and I think Jake will test this as well, for any of us to try to come forward and tell you guys, this is the set time coronavirus is going to stop or slow down. That's not our job. Yeah. Like that's we'll leave that to scientists who do this for a living, people that study this stuff. That's not why we're here. The only thing that we're here to do is to give you the information as of today and to give you our best guess at what's going to happen over the next few weeks. Looking anything beyond that is a little irresponsible on our part, and we wouldn't even. I don't think we would even try to do that, right?
I mean, yeah, we don't know. I don't know what's going to happen 3-4 weeks from now. So I mean, like I said, these parks can still remain closed, or they can open back up. We don't know.
A funny question here. Since we are theme park content creators, have we thought about doing Let's Plays of theme park video games? I don't know about you. Have you?
I mean, I'm about to do some Roller Coaster Tycoon stuff.
There you go. Jake, are you doing something I don't know about on the Shark? What are you going to do?
Let's do Minecraft theme park buildings.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. We've never done video game type content. I think for Jake and I specifically here at Shark, something that you guys can look back on is some of our history videos where we've documented the history of rides. Some of our top fives where we talked about like some of the 5 best things an attraction offers or a certain theme park. I think those kind of videos are a good indication of the kind of content that you can expect from our account in particular going forward. Dylan, I'm not too sure yet because we haven't discussed it, but I think for us at least that's something you could go forward on. And
yeah, I mean, like I said, being creative is key. We'll figure it out.
That's
you see this one?
What is it, Jake?
The confusion. My whole group chat with fellow construction workers are being told to not come to work for the next 2 weeks.
Okay, so if we don't want to go forward and say that what everyone is saying in the comments is gospel or true, but assuming that everyone is being truthful with what they're saying in here, that is an interesting comment.
The Happy Place Explorers is saying...
let's add it.
About Secret Life of Pets. Secret Life of Pets is probably not going to soft open. There's with all this information, I wouldn't guarantee any ride is going to be a soft opening tomorrow that's new. I highly doubt it.
No soft opening tomorrow and no preview on Saturday, obviously.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. It's just, that's like the last place the theme parks are thinking right now.
I feel like it's their last priority, too. Like, they're not concerned about it.
Exactly. That's exactly my thought as well. That's just not where their head is right now. A lot of people are laughing about Planet Coaster.
I still haven't played Planet Coaster.
Honestly, I haven't either.
I want to play it because it looks absolutely amazing.
It does look... Have you ever played, Jake?
No, I've only played Roller Coaster Tycoon.
No, it's probably...
I still play Roller Coaster Tycoon, like the original one on my phone.
Scrolling through here again, seeing what you guys are saying. Expedition Theme Park said, enjoying the live stream. Thank you so much. We can't tell you how much we appreciate you being here and being in here. Your content is obviously fantastic as well. So if anyone is in here, definitely go check out Expedition Theme Park. That's a fantastic channel.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for everyone to watch like everyone's live streams, honestly, and all the support, because there is some hate on Twitter right now that I'm seeing, and it's discouraging, and I'm just like, you know what? Whatever, don't watch then. So it really is, something we all appreciate. We really do appreciate you guys watching.
Park Hoppin' is asking, any word on SeaWorld Orlando? What'd you hear, Jake?
As far as I've seen, nothing yet out of SeaWorld. In fact, they've offered discounted ticket prices.
Across the board, most of the Orlando parks did have a discounted ticket offer going out over the last 48 hours that I saw posted on Twitter. Obviously, that was probably a scheduled thing that just wasn't surprised.
If it's not a scheduled thing, that's almost a business ethics dilemma.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that.
They don't have anything on Twitter just yet, so there's nothing as far as an announcement there.
Okay, so
Would this give Disney a chance for both Disneyland and the world to improve Rise of the Resistance in terms of maintenance during this temporary downtime?
That's the question we've been asking ourselves pretty much across the board, is what they're going to do as far as their construction and things like that, if that's going to apply as well to what they're doing to guests.
Yeah,
I don't think we know.
I mean, they could be working on Rise of the Resistance, but I mean, the ride is it's just so complex. I mean, there's more than just tightening down a bolt, I mean, there's a lot of programming in that. So I mean, they could use this time to definitely hone down on some issues that they're having. But
what do you think, Jake?
We don't know.
They could definitely be using this time as a refurbishment period for attractions without having to close them while the park is open. But then again, who knows in regards to staffing and where they want to spend money and where they definitely want to save money. That's going to be the big question here. Where do they want to save money while they're not operating?
That's a great
question. Is it worth it to go through and spend thousands to refurbish an attraction, or just leave it be?
Kurt Logan, first of all, thank you so much for your super chat. He said, Planet Coaster is a must.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Kurt's my buddy. I know him.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for that super chat. That does mean a lot. I saw a question here that I'm trying to find here, so I'll let you guys continue as I was looking for it. It was a good general question just about the park. Here it is. What did we think about Secret Life of Pets, the press photos that came out? Just our overall thoughts. It said the ride looked pretty good with 0 screens as far as I guess they could tell in those photos. So initial thoughts, Dylan?
I thought it looked fantastic.
Yeah.
I thought it was like, wow, like finally, Universal's, has an attraction like this in Hollywood. Like it's been a long time coming, that's for sure. And I'm glad that when they released those photos, I was like, wow, this is gonna be really cool. This is gonna be a really cute ride, especially for those kids. Like the kids are gonna love it.
Jake, what were your initial thoughts on seeing the Secret Life of Pets ride photos?
Yeah, I mean, it looks fantastic. This will be the first time you've had a practical dark ride in Hollywood since 2003.
Is that true? Is that how long it's been at this point?
It's been since 2003.
Okay.
March 14th, to be exact. 2 days from now. March 14th, 2003, the date the E.T. adventure closed.
Wow. Okay, so that is important. I'm throwing in a photo for them right now to see, just a photo to give them reference on what we're speaking of. This is one of the photos that did come out for Secret Life of Pets Off the Leash. Look at how fantastic that animatronic looks. Like,
Oh yeah, it looks great.
I said this to a lot of people the first time I saw this. This wasn't the style of animatronic that I was expecting. I was expecting kind of like a cartoony, maybe like a plasticky looking, shiny kind of animatronic. Not like legit fur, almost a real animal in cartoon form, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting this.
And they didn't have to do that. They could
No.
have gone the plasticky route, but they decided to go that extra mile and really hone in on the detail, which is fantastic.
It's fantastic. It looks like it's going to be a very good attraction. And, when we can get back in there, I am excited to see what that looks like. As Jake was saying, it's been a while since we've had that true practical dark ride. And it will probably, out of everything we've ever had, most closely resemble E.T., as far as we know.
Yeah,
Inside.
as far as like a dark ride, I mean, it's fantastic. I love the Cat in the Hat dark ride in Orlando, so I'm glad that we have something here in Hollywood.
It feels like company-wide, it may be similar to that attraction, Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the closest thing people have been trying to say this attraction could resemble. Maybe not as intense from a spinning perspective, I would say,
Yeah.
even the toned-down version, but
No.
still, I think that's a similar type of ride to expect. Bree
Kind of
says
looks
she
like
can't wait to get
Spaghetti
on.
Space Chase.
It kind of looks like what?
The Spaghetti Space Chase.
Where's
ride
that?
from Universal Studios Singapore.
Oh, wow, Spaghetti Space Chase. I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah, but say I didn't even recall that one.
Jake always pulls out rides like that
Oh,
for me.
okay.
That's like
It's like, I
Take
don't
that
remember
with
that.
Google. It's also New York themed.
the Spaghetti Space Race. If you want to tell them about Spaghetti Space Race, I will do my best to get them a shot of the Spaghetti Space Race.
The big difference is this is a suspended dark ride. It uses a ride system like E.T.
Okay.
and it's themed to
Oh, it's a Sesame Street attraction?
Sesame Street.
The Spaghetti Space
My God,
Chase?
that marquee though.
Yeah, right.
Holy moly!
So if you
Isn't
guys
that cool?
if you guys want to know what we're looking at, this is what Dylan and I were looking at first and foremost. If it comes in there for you guys, it's
insane.
monstrous, right? This is the Spaghetti Space Chase, and you said this is at Universal where?
Singapore.
Singapore.
Studio Singapore.
Singapore. So the Spaghetti Space Chase. I'm curious if any of you guys have been on the Spaghetti Space Chase. It's a funny name.
Yeah, look at that marquee. That's crazy.
So I have seen that attraction, and it does kind of look similar, to be honest.
I mean, it does look familiar. I might
Right.
have seen this.
I've
A
seen
long
this.
time ago.
I've seen this POV. I just didn't know that was the name.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Spaghetti Space Chase.
Yeah, Thad said he
Anyway.
thinks the space race is Sesame Street related. You're absolutely right. Bree said, "Oh my God, absolutely."
My buddy used to live in Singapore, and he'd always get mad because their major coaster there is Battlestar Galactica. And if you don't know, Battlestar Galactica opened with the park, and then it closed for like 5 or 6 years and just never reopened. And they'd make memes and stuff. It'd be like Universal Studios advertisements say like, Battlestar Galactica is closed, but Sesame Street Spaghetti Space Chase is still open.
Yeah, that's not too surprising.
That ride had like structural issues, like cracks in the foundation or something, so they had to close it down for years.
That's interesting. See, this is why I keep you around, Jake. You always bring me some nice
I
little
don't
fun.
come too often, but when I do come, I got some good facts.
I think a lot of people are happy to finally see you in a live stream, so it was about time we had you in here, so that was good. Let's see what people are talking about. Wow, the comments right now are kind of all over the board. It's even spewing into politics a little bit, so let's see what you guys are...
I mean, like non-theme park related. NBC just is halting Jimmy Fallon's show right now.
completely across the board.
Yeah, NBC suspends production of Fallon.
So Jimmy
Is it a
Fallon's
good
ride and
idea
show
to
just
go
went down
to
in the
a
same
theme
day.
park tomorrow?
What'd you say, Jake?
Is it a good idea to go out to a theme park tomorrow?
That's what someone asked. Is it a good idea?
I mean,
Probably
honestly,
not.
like,
There you go.
what's the difference between going to the theme park tomorrow and the grocery store? I mean, like, if you're gonna get coronavirus, you're gonna get it. I mean,
That's a solid point.
I mean,
With that in mind, I think I'm going to go to Disney World tomorrow.
But even with that said, I don't feel like my local Albertsons or my local grocery store, right? I don't feel like it's going to have the same
Well, of course not.
cultural
Yeah.
diversity that a theme park would have. So that's one interesting reason why
Yeah.
a theme park might not be a great idea. But I do understand your sentiment, and that's If
Even people wearing the face masks, like when they're walking around. What makes you think you're not touching surfaces everywhere you go? I mean, who knows what's on that surface? So like
That's why you just wear your hazmat suit.
yeah, like Naomi Campbell did in the airport the other day. Like she went full hazmat suit.
they are on Amazon Prime if you guys want them Prime delivered. It
So
only takes
bad.
2 days, so
It's a horrible situation. It sucks, and then we don't know a lot about the virus. That's what's kind of scary about it is we don't really know a lot about it. So,
You think they'll let me into Disney World in a hazmat suit?
I feel like under the circumstances, it's understandable more so than it isn't. I think they'd be surprised if you didn't show up with one. But probably not.
I would not.
Amazon.
Do that.
Yeah, don't do that. We're just joking. Thad is asking me for clarification if the Fallon ride went down today. I was just talking about the park in general, not this specific attraction. I was saying his ride went down and the show went down because the park went down, not specifically the ride. We're getting another question from Jeff asking us about our content that we're going to do since the parks are closing. Any more out-of-the-box ideas, Jake?
Well, I'm thinking I'll put together a Terminator 2 3D history video.
Okay, see, that's solid. I think people would enjoy that. I think I'm going to go with
And
theme
now,
park cooking.
Also, we have Shark 2, which will hopefully be loaded with content by the end of the month.
You said say what?
We have Shark 2, more
Shark 2. We do. So we have More Shark, which is our second account where we're going to be uploading content. I think this gives us great reason to fill out that account even more. So, but I'm still hooked on theme park cooking. I'm gonna be in my kitchen. I'm gonna teach people how to make butterbeer. I'm gonna find all these like crafty theme park dishes, and I'm just gonna cook with people.
That's smart.
Yeah, I mean the content is review videos, history videos,
Right.
top 5.
Why are you taking out my cooking?
I mean, yeah, cooking videos. Like here's how to cook a homemade churro. Like
You go.
Yeah, I mean there's endless amounts of content.
Man, I've been talking to you about making a Terminator 2 video for years now.
Yeah, he says Jake is stealing my ideas.
We've been DMing on Twitter for years about making a T2 video. Never did it.
So this is the Shark Times Expedition theme park collab. That's what it is. Then it's official.
Yes.
If anything.
Just a little personal plug, I do have the largest collection of Terminator 2 3D footage out there.
I feel like there's people that would fight you on that.
I don't. I mean, I don't think there's anyone who has more footage of that show than I do.
So you stand by that.
I stand by that very solidly. Actually, there's one guy. His name is Hope of the Future. He's a Terminator fan, and he's been to every Terminator attraction on Earth. So he might have more than I do. He probably does.
So more from across the board, but you have one more from a specific location. That's the Skype email.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
I'm just reading comments again. People are laughing at the cooking stuff. Butterbeer with
HHS
actual...
video.
Say that again?
Expedition Shark Park.
Did that just come in? I haven't seen that one yet. Expedition Shark Park. I feel like that's like a Shark Stop crossover in a way.
Dustin and I are brothers.
Did someone say that? Did someone ask?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, brothers are friends. Brothers, for sure. Bree is saying Terminator would be cool, so you are getting some push there on your Terminator video. So if you want to go forward with a Terminator history video, that could be it.
Theme Park Expedition Shark Park Stop Obsession.
We'll have one giant video where Alicia comes in, and then it just gets to be nonsense at that point.
Oh man.
We should actually go to the parks in hazmat suits. That
No,
would be kind
we're
of
not
fun.
Oh no.
Imagine the response you would get.
Bad.
One time I wore a tuxedo to SeaWorld and
This
I went
is a
on
true
Infinity
story.
Falls.
You went on like a... How do you describe those? It's like a rapid ride, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what that ride is.
Yeah, he did a rapid ride in a tux. First day of
That's
opening.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. see?
That's kind of cool. I think Drew from Parks Bros is about to call in, by the way.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so we are about to have Drew from Parks Bros come in here. Jake, I don't know if I will lose you again. I hope not. My goal is to add him into this call this time. So hopefully I won't lose you this time.
If you lose me, I'm going to use it as a bathroom break.
All right, well, that's
There you go.
fine too. So we are waiting on that call whenever that does come in, but I am still reading your guys' comments. In the meantime, Exhibition Theme Park said he still enjoys the suits from Infinity Falls. Nia said Jake is ready to risk it all for content. I think that's a good observation. It's going on your channel though. It's not going on mine. Or ours.
Mine as in Shark 2?
No. I mean as in Jake ORL.
Jake.
It's not going on ours is what I meant. My bad. Let's see where we're going.
Man, I still can't wrap my head around like what's happening today.
Yeah, it's
insanity. I mean, all jokes aside, guys. I mean, this is very serious.
right.
You know, I hope for the best. I'm glad the people working at these parks are still getting paid. You know, and their well-being is secure for at least the time being. But it is nerve-wracking for sure. I mean, I used to work at both Disneyland and Universal Studios, so it's I mean, it's crazy to think that most of my friends now have to deal with this, and it's hard for sure.
Dylan and I and even Jake are trying to make light of this situation, have a little fun. But I will re-echo that sentiment from Dylan. This is
For some reason, I guess it's not connecting.
Gotcha. This is a serious situation. Just leave it out so I can see it. I'll start. This is a serious situation to take serious. So whatever you guys can do to help stop the spread within your own community, whether it's encouraging your friends to wash their hands, encouraging your friends to stay home if they're sick, we all have a part to do in this. There's all something that we can all try to do together to make this better. So, exit. What's this?
So, Expedition Theme Park could tell you what this is.
Okay, what is he? Is he writing something? What's happening?
I don't know. Someone in the comments could tell us what this exit sign is.
Well, it kind of has a glare on it. Let's see. Any guesses on what Jake's exit sign is from?
Go away, Claire.
Is it a Mako exit sign?
No. It's,
Oh, okay, I see it now. It looked like a.
Do you know what it is?
I don't really know. Like, it looks like a.
Let's see. Does anyone know? This glare is annoying.
Yeah, I don't know.
There we go. No glare. Yes, no one, no guessers.
No guess. I think people are over it.
Is that from P2? No.
Someone says, is that from T2?
It's from Body Wars at Epcot.
Ah.
Straight off the wall.
Wow.
But this is from T2.
What's
this?
What is that?
It's an E.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Where was that located exactly?
I think it was above the little salad bar area where it's like get your safety glasses.
Oh, cool. He always has
That's
little...
my guess.
So, Drew,
Mm-hmm.
let's see how this works. Hopefully...
Is that
I did not
That
steal the
should be
sign.
it,
Body
yes.
Wars is a closed attraction.
add to group.
Yeah, no, did not steal the sign.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not.
Closed ride.
All right, Jake, I might be losing you here for a second, okay?
Okay.
All right, just letting you know. Expedition Theme Park says Body Wars.
Hello?
Do we have him?
Drew?
Hello.
Oh,
Can you hear us?
hey!
Yes. Oh
Perfect.
my gosh. Sorry about the technical difficulties.
Oh no, we are good. Let me get you in here.
Park Bros.
Just like that. Yep.
Yeah. That's...
Perfect. So, I don't know if I can get rid of Jake. So I have a frozen picture of our last guest in there right now, but this is Drew from Park Bros. So thank you so much for being here first and foremost.
Thank you so much for having me, Dustin. It's awesome to be here.
Yes, of course. We're thrilled that you're here. And I guess our first question for you out the gate is, I guess, your initial reaction just a few hours ago when you heard news, I guess, first out of Disneyland. What was your initial reaction?
A little shocked, but at the same time, not surprised at all. I was kind of expecting it honestly, over the past couple of days, considering, especially last night, hearing that the NBA season was suspended.
Right.
That was really the light bulb for me, going, okay, yeah, I think the parks are probably going to close, especially if, a multi-billion-dollar corporation like that can close just on a dime like that. It just makes complete sense that these parks are going to end up closing too in the near future. I didn't expect Disney to be announcing within the 24-hour period, but I think it was still expected nonetheless.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't think any of us were expecting that an immediate of a response after what was happening. It was very quick, and they just released a statement just not too long before that saying that they were going to remain open, the parks were going to be fine, and then boom, like a couple hours later, then this dropped.
I'm just laughing at all the comments. Someone said "Frozen Jake into the unknown." I'm sorry. We stan a Frozen Jake, so it became a thing. But yeah, I was right with you. As soon as I saw the NBA announcement, I even went to Twitter almost instantly just to kind of see the overall sentiment, I guess, within our community, and people were not really totally convinced that we were next, at least anytime soon. And I kind of made a comment. I said, guys, within the next 72 hours, don't be surprised. And it seemed like people still weren't convinced, even when I said that. And I think as far as we've seen so far, and I discussed this earlier in the show, so many things so far seem like they've been baby steps. So many, the ways that so many different corporations have approached, I guess, their response to this has been in baby steps. So I don't know if we expected it to happen this quickly and this swiftly, but I think we can all kind of agree that it was probably the right thing to do at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
What's your thought process? Because we've been seeing this a ton in our chat. People are asking us what's going to happen. I guess as far as construction and refurbishments at this point, if park workers are even going to be there trying to get things open still. We had Pets right around the corner. We have Jason Bourne right around the corner in Florida, and then the coasters obviously across the country that are around the corner. Are you foreseeing those things are probably going to be delayed, or what's your thought process on those things that were just around the corner and now we don't exactly know what's going to happen?
Well, like things, especially like Secret Life of Pets, that was supposed to have a preview this weekend.
Right.
That's obviously not going to happen.
Right.
And I don't think there'll be any soft opening tomorrow. It just wouldn't make too much sense to especially advertise for a ride if you're going to be closed for another 2 weeks after that.
Correct.
But besides that, I think around the country, it's going to be a pretty big question mark whether they'll keep going with construction or not. Since construction, is not really around park guests at all. It wouldn't surprise me if they kept going through with it. But then again, it is about the safety of the workers, I think, first and foremost. So if there are any, reasonable level of a potential, outbreak within that group of people, then I could see construction stopping in the near future for certain parks. But I don't know. It's such an interesting thing to talk about and theorize about, especially.
Anything new that you're seeing on your end, Dylan, or any?
No, I'm just so far kind of keeping up to date on some comments on my live stream that I did earlier, see if anything was new, and then I'm just keeping an eye on Twitter. It seems like, the domino effect is continuing, not just in the theme park world, but just the entertainment world in general.
It's the world.
And the world. Yeah, everything is. This is insane. This is absolutely bonkers. It's crazy to watch. This is crazy to see unfold. It's unprecedented what is happening.
We're always told, and I guess this is going to get kind of deeper than theme parks here. We're always told, especially around election time, like go out and vote, make a difference, like do something, like your vote matters. This is a scenario where our one individual action truly does matter. Like if we're sick, stay home.
Yeah, you got to stay home, wash your hands, do what you can to be a clean human being, because all it takes is one little screw up and that's it. So like the other day I was editing my latest Universal video, and I saw a gentleman throw trash on the ground, and there's still people that don't wash their hands when they go to the restroom. Like I said this on my stream, it just blows my mind. It blows my mind that people are still doing that, and unfortunately, we have to share the planet with them. But it's like don't they watch the news? Don't they know like what's happening? Like, just be responsible. That's all you have to do. Just be responsible, and it helps so much.
I've had kind of interesting situations where I've noticed someone sneeze or maybe even do something at the park where, like, people I know, obviously, I'm not going to go up to a stranger and tell them this, but I said, hey, man, like, go wash your hands.
Yeah.
Like, I was literally being, like, trying to be cautious and, like, do my part and be like, hey, man, like, I know you didn't wash it. Like, go wash your hands. And
Theme Park ERT in the chat. What's going on?
Theme Park ERT here. Hello. And it's amazing. Like, the response that you get to that statement is sometimes not great, but it's an important statement to try to make. And it's an uncomfortable one. I've never had to tell people that or even think of that or it's been something in my head, but not something to actually vocalize. And now it seems like we're at a point where we need to vocalize something like that if we see it.
I have no problem saying
Yeah.
I mean, if someone's not washing, if I'm at a park and no one's washing their hands, like, I'll straight up tell you, like, bro, wash your hands, man. Like, it's ridiculous. Because then they go and they touch the harness on the ride, the seat belt, the whatever it may be.
Right.
And, you know, it spreads so fast. So, I don't know.
We do still have a lot of you in here, so I do want to thank you guys for spending your Thursday night here with us at Theme Park Shark Live. Obviously, I'm trying to get as many guests on here as I can for you guys to discuss what's going on in the industry. So I do thank you guys for spending your night here with us. If you're in here and you haven't left us a thumbs up yet on the live stream, definitely please do that. It helps the live stream stay healthy, helps YouTube keep pushing it. It means the world to me, and I do appreciate you guys again being in here. If there are any more questions that I can address for you guys, definitely keep putting them in the chat. I'm watching the chat live as we're doing the discussion, so I am waiting for your questions as we're discussing. I will ask this, Drew. How surprised were you, I guess, at the time frame of the responses that followed Disneyland? Did as soon as Disneyland made their announcement, did you kind of tell yourself, okay, we're a matter of hours away before the rest of the parks follow suit, the major parks? Or did you kind of expect maybe it would take another day or two, maybe even a week? Or did you think, like, no, it's all happening today?
Well, with Universal especially, I was expecting it probably to be about 4 hours behind, but they definitely beat that mark out. I think it was, in about an hour and 20 minutes after the Disneyland announcement, or maybe 2 hours away.
Right? Didn't seem too far. When you say, Dylan?
Yeah, no, this was happening very quickly. Very, very fast.
But all the other parks, though, I was not expecting to be within the same day, like Disneyland Paris or Walt Disney World, and that was definitely unexpected. I was thinking that was going to be at least a day or two later, but considering the weekend is coming around, I think it makes sense to kind of halt that giant group of guests that's going to go to those parks especially. But it wouldn't surprise me if the rest of the parks around the U.S. Probably will announce something within the next couple days. But that's kind of the time frame I'm expecting, at least as of now. I wasn't expecting Universal to be so quick. But I really don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if we even saw one more announcement by the end of the night from another park.
I would not be surprised at all in the slightest. I think this shows that Universal was prepared for this moment, for how fast they acted. After Disney made their announcement, I think they must have had it ready. Say, hey guys, we have a plan in place. If things start moving this way, we're good to go. Some of these other parks might have not been saying like, hey, this is happening now. So that might be why we're having any sort of delay at all.
Yeah, it could be. I feel like, since the cases started popping up in California and obviously, the news was getting more and more crazy, you'd have to think that they have meetings about this every day.
Yeah,
all the parks.
Of course.
Every single one of them.
Of course.
But yeah, it is an interesting move to see who does it. Who makes that announcement first,
right?
And who's going to make it last. And since it's already so late, obviously I think the rest of the announcements will be made tomorrow, if not by the end of the weekend. Like I'm curious about Knott's Berry Farm.
I think.
Yeah, me too.
I think we're within 24 hours of Knott's.
Yeah, Knott's, and then Six Flags as well.
Same thing.
And I honestly, half of Six Flags parks anyway are seasonal parks. So they might be readily prepared to close the rest of their parks if need be. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next 24 hours. Expedition Theme Park said something funny. Said, with all the crazy things happening, with tomorrow being Friday the 13th, does this mean Jason will return? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That's, I feel like that's... house this morning.
I feel like with everything that's happening, it would not surprise many of us at this point. We just like, oh, all right, yeah.
Wasn't that
Jason,
crazy?
makes
Tomorrow's
sense.
Friday the 13th, and all this stuff is happening.
Yeah,
Like it's just nuts.
what a time for a Friday the 13th, right? It's
Oh yeah.
but it's funny because if we did hear Jason return, I think all of us kind of be like, yeah, that's 2020 for you.
2020, man. It's just there's a lot happening.
2020 has been an interesting year, and the way I like to look at it is that we can hopefully only go up from here. I'm still watching your comments. I'm seeing what you guys are writing. Anything else that's struck you today, Drew, or any thoughts that you've had just throughout the day, or?
Well, like, do you think the parks will reopen by the end of the month, or do you think they're going to extend?
I'm thinking it won't be by the end of the month.
Yeah.
Potentially, maybe in May, even as like a long game. But I think it just depends on where the virus goes from here. Does it keep spreading like it has, or does it kind of subside a little bit?
Yeah.
And I think at the rate it's going, at least, I could see a lot of these parks being down for over a month easily. But yeah, as of right now, my guess is probably around mid to late April when they potentially reopen. But we'll see. We'll see.
And it's such a huge blow to everything.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
It's a major closure.
I just don't see, with the way the trajectory of the virus, the way it does seem to be going right now, how they can come back in 2, 3, whatever, how many weeks they've tried to say.
I don't think so either. I honestly
it seems like we're at the start.
I think this is going to be, I think you're right, Drew. I think this is going to be a lot longer than we initially think. I think this is going to be, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks out. It just, like you said, it depends on how crazy the virus spreads. And if cases continue to pop up, like what's happening in Italy. Italy is just...
They're like closed. They just closed up shop.
Yeah, and I feel so bad for everyone out there. It's just spreading so fast. And, some people say like, oh, well, it's not going to happen here. It's like, well, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. So
I got some comments today on my video about the topic of Disneyland closing, and there were some people from Italy saying, you guys don't know what you have coming.
Wow.
Make sure you prepare, because before you know it, your streets are going to be empty and it's going to be an eerie apocalyptic scene.
Yeah,
so I don't know if it'll get to that bad, obviously, but those are some of the scenes that we're seeing in Italy and even France potentially. I got a comment about how Paris streets are completely empty most of the time. So it's a very crazy time.
It's a slippery slope. That's what it sounds like. It's, the second you turn away and you start paying it the attention it deserves, it's going to creep up on you, and it's going to, lack of a better word, it's going to attack. It's going to do what it does.
And I don't know, I was talking about this before we started, and I don't mean to stir up the conspiracy theory thing, but these parks made a very drastic decision today. Do they know more than what the general public knows? Or is it just out of precaution? This is just me being silly right now, but these decisions are not easy. This is, it is easy, but then it's not at the same time, because you are saying, okay, we're shutting everything down and we're okay with losing hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Hundreds of millions of dollars. I think Disney's going to lose over $1 billion easily. I think so. So is there more to the story than meets the eye? Or is it just out of precaution? Just simply out of precaution? I don't know. It's very interesting for sure.
I'm hoping it's out of precaution. At this point, we're seeing that out of precaution happening across other industries. So hopefully that is what we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not worse than...
And, it probably is.
Right.
The thing is, it probably is out of precaution just for the safety of everyone. And, closing the theme parks definitely helps. Again, hundreds of thousands of people go to these parks daily.
Right.
So closing them all up it's an extremely smart move to do it.
I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist either, but one of my theories is that this virus is probably more widespread than we know.
Oh, hands down.
I feel like that's a safe
down.
conspiracy, is that...
I think more people have it than we know, because you got to think, like, we're only able to do so many tests a day around the world, and there's only so many tests readily available. And you're telling me that out of the people that have been tested, this is the number. Well, what about all the homeless people? What about the people that are afraid to go to the doctor? What about the people that don't say anything? Like,
a lot of people just don't go to the doctor sometimes if they're not feeling well.
And what happens if you're afraid to go to, like, here's my thing, like, what if you're afraid to go to the doctor and you don't have coronavirus, but you go to the doctor and then you get coronavirus because you went to the doctor?
What do we do?
Like, it's insane.
It's funny because I've thought about that. I'm like, if I'm not feeling well, do I want to go to the doctor right now?
Do I just want to, like, self-isolate?
Yeah, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, as we do hear more, this is something that can be well taken care of from home with rest and the type of normal stuff that you would do when you are sick. But man, yeah, honestly, I'm at that point too where I'm not sure if I even want to go to the doctor.
It's sad. I mean, my thoughts are out to those that have lost family members. It is very sad, and I'm worried for my family. And it's scary. It really is scary, and I just hope that this kind of blows over relatively soon.
Logan, I see you in here, and I do appreciate you being here and coming with your questions. But for that question in particular, I don't want to address a leak. So if you have other questions, definitely throw them in. I do appreciate you in here as always.
But yeah, we don't want to spread like leaks or rumors or anything like that.
No. But I will answer any more questions that you have. It was yeah.
Let's see.
Another from Expedition Theme Park. The wider impact of these closures is going to be huge on the tourism industry and parks. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and then look what they did with the cruise ships. No one's going on a cruise ship anymore.
No.
It's a huge hit.
I think I looked at round trips from LAX, Los Angeles, to Orlando for like next week. And yeah, it may have not been the best airline choice, but I think I saw a round trip for like $72.
Same. I think I saw the same one. If I'm not going to name the airline, but they do have a bunch of baggage fees, and that turns out to be the same price you were going to pay before.
Okay.
So,
yep. But still, seeing that price for round trip, I was just like,
oh yeah, it was nice. It was like $60
super
or $70. I was like, oh hi Arngwazi, how are you? Like, I was going to go do that, but Busch Gardens might be on the table for closure as well.
Yeah, I think across the board, I don't see. Man, by Saturday or Sunday, maybe even Monday, I don't see any theme park in the country operating.
Especially with the, like, speaking of Iron Gwazi is probably one of the most highly anticipated roller coasters in the world right now. And, a lot of us want to go out there and ride it. So that's a lot of people trying to travel to that one particular area. And, it wouldn't be a surprise if Busch Gardens is like, you know what, we're going to do what we can to help stop the community spread, and we'll open at a later date.
Oh, this is another. I keep featuring Expedition Theme Park. You're saying wonderful stuff. He had a flight to LAX in 2 weeks for Peacock, and they refunded him with no question. He was still wanting to go. It's literally last minute.
Oh well, that's awesome, and that they reimbursed you. I mean, it seems like a lot of places are, which is fantastic.
Bree's asking a cool question too, which is if we're hearing anything about the Hawaii resort. Personally,
I haven't heard anything yet.
Yeah. Have you heard anything, Drew?
Mm-mm. No, nothing.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything about Ulani just yet either, but man, it's assuming things follow suit and it's going. I don't know. I don't want to speculate, guys. I don't want to try to, like I said, be an expert on the coronavirus, but
those two are good. Like questions.
This one,
both of them, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Do you think they'll make an announcement about Halloween Horror Nights 30? It could be a possibility. I mean, we're a little far out right now. They don't. I mean, they're actively building those haunted attractions right now in Florida, and I know Not Scary Farm has started their haunt construction. I think Drew, you probably have been to the park lately, and I don't know if you've seen that or not, but
yes, I have.
Yeah, and I believe they've started in the accelerator location. So
yep.
It's too early to cancel those events, but it is a possibility depending on how big this continues to get, or if it tapers off. If it continues, then yeah, there's a huge possibility that they might have to do something with Halloween Horror Nights, which is another huge blow to that particular company, because HHN as a brand pulls in quite a bit of money for the company. So, but we're a little far out to that. So I think what I'm kind of eyeballing is what's going to happen with Avengers Campus. things like Secret Life of Pets, Iron Gwazi, Emperor at SeaWorld, attractions like that. That's like the first initial phase, and then all the Halloween stuff would be later. But it's going to be interesting.
Avengers Campus is the super interesting one for me because as it looks, and we just got the announcement date, was it yesterday or the day before, right?
Yeah, it's opening date.
Mm-hmm.
That already, to me, looked like it was going to be tight. They didn't look like they could afford any kind of disruption like this.
Yeah, and those are big moments. A lot of people come out to see those, especially like Marvel. I mean, everyone wants to see that. So, yeah, it's crazy.
Nia is saying that Airbnb isn't refunding people. It's up to your host to allow a full refund. She personally got lucky, and her host reached out to her. But man, that's interesting, and I wonder if they're going to have to change on that. Assuming they would have to do something.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You would hope, at least. Let's see.
Is there go up? I think there was some more other comments. Sorry, guys. We're just trying to look at the comments
Yeah, we're
here.
seeing what's going on.
A lot's happening.
Do you want to address that one?
Yeah. Let's.
Don't go.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
To tell you what we're talking about, someone said they think pets might soft open tomorrow, so they might go.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I don't think it's wise.
Yeah, it's just not worth it. Jay, who's a buddy of mine, asked if the construction crews will be haunted, and then he corrected that and put halted. And then Jake, of course, came through and said he thinks the construction will be haunted.
The chain reaction.
So, with ghosts of coronavirus past. Wow. I don't know if we've ever had that, Jake. Thank you, Jake. Okay, that is funny. Let's see what else you guys are talking about. Yeah,
Rise of Resistance will unfortunately not be happening. More people will not be able to experience that attraction right now.
Yeah, my entire family still hasn't been able to ride it.
Wow.
It sucks. My buddy Joey, he has been trying to ride that attraction for the longest time, and every time he goes, it's just not able to. And then now with this, he's like, "Great, now I'm not going to be able to ride this." Yeah, it sucks.
So we had a question that seems already being answered in chat. The question was, is Disney Springs still open?
Yes.
And Jay said, sadly, Disney Springs is still open. So,
Which is
City Walk's
interesting.
remaining open too.
Yeah, that is interesting because if the parks are closed, I don't think that many people are going to be shopping especially like something like City Walk. By City Walk, there's a mall called the Americana and the Glendale Galleria. Like, I feel like if people are going to do their shopping, they're going to go there and not City Walk. City Walk doesn't really have a lot of shopping, so to say. It's
right.
It's very convenient if you're there at the park, especially if you want to grab a bite to eat. But I don't understand why they're keeping those open.
I'm just laughing. Some of these comments are ridiculous.
Some of them need to stay in the chat.
I had one that I was going to... I wanted to clarify something I said earlier about the Hollywood Park when I said don't go tomorrow. If you want to go, go.
Yeah,
But I'm saying
by all
don't...
means,
I don't want to
go.
hurt the park. I'm saying don't go with the intention of trying to get on Pets tomorrow. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to go to Disneyland, Universal, whatever park it may be, go. Feel free. Dude, go have fun. Have a blast. It's going to be the last time for at least a couple weeks. So definitely get those memories in now, because you just don't know, when they're going to close.
I want to address this real quick. Logan's asking me what's the deal with Universal Hollywood buying more land for Nintendo World. Either I or someone else mentioned this. I did not mention that. So
We don't know if they're buying any land.
That was probably someone else.
Yeah.
So I saw you write that a few times, Logan, so I did want to address that for you. Everyone's just trolling now.
The ducks and cats.
I like that
are gonna
question.
Start an anarchy while there's no guests.
Will Disney World run out of toilet paper? If they were, they aren't going to anymore. Because they can't. No one can use it.
You guys are hilarious.
Someone said it's good to see me. Stay safe. Thank you. It's good to see you as well. You stay safe too. There's all something that we can do to play a part in trying to stop this spread. So everyone definitely stay safe and try to do your part, whatever that may be.
Well, you know what? Expedition theme park.
You'll probably be able to get a boarding group up until like 8 o'clock at night. So
Oh yeah, like the
it might be a walk-on
true.
for all we know. It might be.
tomorrow the parks are either going to be extremely packed.
Yeah, it's
or
one or the other.
They're
Yep.
going to be dead.
It's one or the other.
One or the other.
There's no.
Well, today I can tell you the entire resort was almost a ghost town.
At Disneyland.
Yeah, it was kind
Wow.
of startling actually.
Wow. I mean, this will be the 4th time that the resort has closed
Hmm
in its history, and this, I believe, is someone said, I think on my end, that this is the longest that Disney has ever been closed in its history.
It's probably
Yep.
true. It's probably true, isn't it?
Yeah,
Another funny.
It's pretty crazy.
We're trying to make light of the situation. Is this a plan for Disney to get more people to sign up for Disney Plus? Probably not,
No
but
comment.
it's a good plan to get people to watch it, I would say for sure. But it's not their plan. It's not anyone's plan.
No, they're
Trying to make light of this.
Their top priority is the health and safety of
Yeah.
everybody.
We're trying to make light of this, guys.
Yeah, what are the wait times? Let's see what the wait times are right now.
We're gonna look at the current wait
Because
times
we
at
have
Disneyland.
Technology. Let's see here. Oh, the first thing that pops up is a closure notification. Disneyland Resort will be on temporary closure beginning on Saturday, March 14th.
Wow.
Well, Space Mountain has a 55-minute wait. Matterhorn's 55 minutes. Pretty much everything else is 10 minutes except for the heavy hitters. Everything else, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Big Thunder Mountain, Space Mountain. Autopia, for some reason, has a 60-minute wait.
Hey, people are jumping at a chance to go today. That's what it seems like, at least.
Wow.
That's actually surprising.
Autopia actually has the longest wait in the park right now.
Wow.
Wow.
That's interesting.
When I was there, it was a walk-on.
Oh, wow. And then Rise of the Resistance is on group 164, which is actually really good.
That's solid.
Wow.
They're doing fantastic.
People want their last Autopia run through for now.
Tomorrowland on the move.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's let's see, is 8, 9, 10. Well, Disney World's still open. I think I have the app for that as well.
I do think since the rain stopped about midway through the day, people started to come in.
Yeah.
There was a good 25 or so cars coming into the parking structure when I ended up parking. And that was at 4:00. So I'm sure a good chunk of people came in after the rain ended up stopping at around 3.
Yeah. Disney World, on the other hand, is pretty busy.
Is it?
Yeah. They're seeing some pretty healthy wait times over there. I would assume Universal Studios is closed already, because they usually close at like 6 or 7.
Right.
Well, let's see. Thursday, yeah, they're closed. Man, this is definitely interesting. Yeah, Drew, have you heard any more information from other parks? I know you're kind of paying attention to more parks than I necessarily do. Have you heard anything?
It's not much besides speculation at the point, or at the moment. It's just a big question mark for a lot of the parks. I have some buddies that work in Floridian parks, and they're kind of throwing their arms up in the air, saying, "I have no idea, but it'll probably happen soon." And I have some friends that even work at like places like Knott's and Six Flags Magic Mountain that are going, "We have no idea what's going on." So as of right now, I know Cedar Fair issued a statement specifically, and I know Six Flags did as well, but Cedar Fair said they do not plan on any closures at the moment.
Yeah.
But then again, Disneyland said the same thing yesterday.
Yeah,
So
I got that email today too.
We'll just have to wait and see for that. It wouldn't surprise me, though, if Knott's and other Cedar Fair properties end up closing or potentially postponing their opening days for the year.
Yeah.
I want to answer a question from Logan here, who you guys may not even know about this, or maybe you do. He's asking me about Whole Cans that I mentioned in a previous Saturday Night Live. When will they be available, and what do you think they will cost? So this was a potential leaked leaked. Not really. It's just a potential piece of technology that Disney may use in Avengers Campus. And the thought process was there's going to be some sort of item that kids can have on them, crash into the ground, and it makes the ground kind of shake a little bit. So it's a piece of technology that they want to utilize that makes the ground kind of shake under people's feet in a specific spot, utilizing a certain item of merchandise.
Actually, genius.
So it's really cool, right? So I went ahead and I took it a step further, and I speculated that I think, if anything, it's probably going to be some Hulk hands or something along those lines that kids are used to having on their hands, or maybe even, I don't know if it's Thor's hammer. I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be some kind of superhero item that kids are going to be able to smash into the ground and shake the ground based upon some stuff that we've seen that could potentially happen. Nothing's confirmed, obviously. This is just, we were having fun and talking about this. So I can't answer the question, when will it be available and how much will it cost? I can guess how much it'll cost. It'll probably be in the 30, 40, or low 50 range. That's pretty...
Probably like $50,
right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if they were gonna do something like that,
If they do something like that, but yeah, it'd be an interesting piece of technology. I think that'd be a lot of fun for kids. Kids would, man, you imagine how crazy kids would go?
they would sell like hotcakes. I mean, Disney
their
merch in
mind.
general is just insane. I mean, they have new merch every single day. It seems like there's something new.
Yeah. So I did start the counter. We have 7 minutes and 25 seconds left on this live stream. So this is your final 7 minutes or so to get things in for not only Dylan, but also Drew. So if you guys do have some questions, definitely get them in now. Drew, I want to thank you again for being here. I know we've gone on probably a little longer than what we told you, but I do appreciate you being here.
Oh, it's all good. I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun.
So like I did say, guys, we have about 7 minutes to go. So if you are still in here as well, just watching and spending your Thursday night with us, I do appreciate you being here again, as always. Let's see. We're having a good night already, so good night. It was good to see you. Very good night. Very good to see you. Logan's asked me if the Yoshi Omni Mover will rotate and move up or down on levels. Again, very far out ride. All we know is Omni Mover at this point, so don't want to go too far into that. Let's see. Anything else? just reading.
I mean, Theme Park ERT, similar to the Wizarding World Harry Potter ones. Yeah. I mean, the interactivity is going to be insane, I think, with Avengers Campus. I mean, there are a couple gift shops in Avengers Campus, I believe. I don't know if there's just one. I think there's two. So there's probably going to be some really cool opportunities for what they're going to do with the merch. Because, I mean, look at Galaxy's Edge. Like, all the merch they got there, it is flying off the shelves.
It seems like Avengers Campus, just from what we're hearing and what we're kind of speculating on, should have those in-park interactive elements, at least a little bit. Kind of similar to what you're saying with Wizarding World.
Yeah, I mean, with the wands, that was such a genius move. Like,
it
that
is.
was such a smart move. So,
and we know Universal's doing it again with Nintendo. That's very interactive. That's super interactive.
Oh,
so
yeah. With the bands.
That thought process is not gone at all from the parks. I think it's going to pick up here in the next decade of theme park expansions that we get. Do you want to answer that?
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
Biggest wishes for Halloween Horror Nights 30, which, if all goes to plan, is going to be an amazing event. 13 Ghosts for sure is on my list. I want to see that maze. I would like to see like a Hills Have Eyes maze, because it's just such a disturbing movie. I think it would make a great Halloween Horror Nights maze. I've been hearing rumors of Beetlejuice showing up. So that's going to be pretty interesting. I'm not really too much of a fan of doing movies that aren't particularly horror movies. But 13 Ghosts is like on one of the top. And of course, all the original mazes. I'd like to see some really gorgeous original mazes.
Any from you, Drew?
Oh, the Beetlejuice maze would be so cool. I love that movie. I know it's not the like scariest thing, but that would be awesome.
I think that's been across the board. That's been one of the biggest speculated things for this upcoming year is the Beetlejuice thing. I think if we can kind of go retro or even go kind of sentimental, bring back some feelings of nostalgia in any capacity with Horror Nights. We try to do that with Ghostbusters, obviously, this year. If we can still do that, that's...
Yeah, I was about to say, they've done Ghostbusters, so that pretty much opens up the door for similar properties.
Yeah.
But yeah, Horror Nights, it's going to be a big year for Orlando. If all goes well, I urge everyone to go out there to check that out. It's a big moment, and they're probably going to spend a lot of money on all their mazes and attractions. Candyman, yeah, that's actually another possibility. That movie's coming out, and Universal has a great relationship with them. So that is a huge possibility. And then the tribute maze, the maze that's usually like a collage of all of HHN past, that might show up as well. They've done that quite a few times.
That'd be really cool, especially, I would like that, especially for like a round year. What, 30?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be a really good idea. See what everyone else is writing here. Did we lose Drew? I don't think so.
I'm still here.
Okay, perfect.
What was that? I was hearing noises.
we heard a random noise. See what else you guys are saying. How about you guys? I'm curious what you guys want to see come for Horror Nights 30. I'm curious. Start throwing in your suggestions in the chat right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of Horror Nights fans out there. So what kind of mazes would you like to see?
That'd be awesome to see.
Both at Hollywood and Orlando.
Yeah, for sure. Today has been crazy with theme park news. That
is an understatement.
Yeah, that's exactly why we're here talking to you guys.
What were you gonna say, Drew?
I'm even thinking maybe even Invisible Man. I've heard a lot of good things about the movie. I haven't seen it yet, but
the movie's good.
Invisible Man could be one of those properties from Blumhouse that they bring in potentially.
I don't. By the way, I have no contact for them, so I have no idea
Okay.
how to contact them. But yeah, I mean, it's a possibility, but it's just the way I look at it. I'm just like, it's an Invisible Man, so like, what's the scare gonna be? You know?
It's very tough to do.
Like you turn the corner, you're like, oh, what is that? It's nothing. Okay,
a floating axe.
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
no, it's
so
it's definitely something really hard to pull off.
Yeah, the movie was great though. I really enjoyed the movie.
Okay, good to know.
We did get a comment that Provost wants to come in here, and if they would like to join us, that would be a fantastic addition to the show, and I will extend it. So if they are trying to get in here, definitely tell them to, I guess,
Yeah, I have no.
Yeah, I'm trying to think the best way we could go.
I'm sorry.
Definitely send me a DM on Instagram, and we'll proceed with that. That'd be fun. I'm trying to see what else you guys. Spirits and Demons of the East.
Yeah, like the scare zones can become mazes as well.
Yeah,
there's
interesting.
A lot of opportunity there.
Look at Killer Clowns from Outer Space became a maze after being a scare zone over in Orlando, and then a maze over at Hollywood. That could definitely work in the future too.
Oh yeah.
A room with a floating shirt.
Yeah, for the Invisible Man maze. There you go. And that's the trigger. Like they just hit the trigger and it just strobes on the shirt, and that's it. Five Nights at Freddy. I've heard a lot of those rumors too. That could be a possibility. Facebook Messenger, they replied.
They just...
Is that...
Let's see. Sorry, guys. We're trying to do a whole ton of things all at once here.
Just a quick reminder, if you've been here
do.
for quite a while, make sure to hit that thumbs up button.
I know, right?
Shark. He puts out some amazing content. And if you haven't yet, which you should have by now, make sure to subscribe.
It's super easy. It's just one click away.
Fantastic plug from everyone else but me. That's all I can ask for. That's fantastic. 10 seconds or 12 seconds. We're in the final countdown here, guys.
No, I love this. So I love that we can all just like sit and talk about these things and not be like, I'm not going to talk to them because they're competing. It's like, no, we're all in this together. We all create amazing content, and you know, it's great to have everyone on board to talk. So especially in some scary times like this, it's great to just get together and really talk about current topics.
I will say this because people are still talking about Provost in the chat. If we can get them in here, have them send me a message instantly on Twitter, like literally within the next minute or two, so I know that they're ready to go. My Twitter is Theme Park Shark. Have them send it there because I am curious to talk to them about their whole adventure that they've had so far. I'm sorry, I was reading a comment there. What were you pointing at, though?
Oh, your Patreon peeps?
Did I miss something? Plug my Patreons. Oh, got it. Plug. A shout out to everyone that
the Patreon supporters.
Shout out to everyone that's supporting on Patreon. Thank you guys so much. You guys mean the world, and especially in a time like this, you are the reason that I can continue to do the Theme Park Shark and bring you guys content. It means the world. Christina said she's already subscribed. That's amazing. Thank you so much. sorry, you guys that were even waiting. We're just trying to get confirmation if Provost is coming in here or not. If I don't hear anything by, I guess, like 8:10, 8:11, I will sign off here with Dylan. Anything else, Drew? Should we tell him to subscribe again?
Yeah, subscribe to Drew's channel.
Yeah, subscribe to Drew. There you go.
Parks Bros.
There you go. There you go. There's another.
Well, thank you both.
And of course, I have Dylan's logo up with him over there. So go check out Theme Park Obsession right now. Definitely do appreciate you guys supporting all three of us.
Yeah,
like we
let's
said,
get Dylan to 50,000 subscribers.
I'm about to hit
Woo,
50,000.
I got to on that one. I'll give you a little, a little applause. We're almost there. Maybe a little air horn.
Oh, yes. Look at all these amazing sound effects.
Oh, look, we just got a subscriber from that.
Yay.
Oh, Provost is here. Provost, amazing. They are here. Let's see how we can. Dylan, I'm gonna have you lead it while I. If you see,
I mean, what was I gonna say? I'm still flabbergasted by that DJ air horn sound. But I'm about to hit 50,000. It's insane. Like I can't.
Congratulations.
Believe it. So thank you. Yeah.
I know how much work you've put into this. So
yeah, I mean, thanks to everyone. Like I never guessed it would happen this quick, and I mean, I said it earlier today on my live chat that I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for people watching and subscribing. I owe it to everyone that has. So I really do appreciate it. But I think we're going to get...
Yeah, I'm trying to get them in here now while you guys...
Twitter is just amazing.
Provost, I'm going to try to get in touch with you. Let's see the best place. I'm going to follow you guys on Twitter right now, and I'm going to DM you guys a place to call in, and we'll get you guys on here, and we'll talk about things.
Oy.
This went longer than we were expecting, but it's good.
I just said oy just because of like all the information.
Oh yeah, it's been quite the day for sure.
I mean, I'm sure on your end too, Drew. Like I saw your video just post not too long ago, so I'm sure it's crazy on your end as well. There's just a lot of information happening.
Oh yeah. Yeah, actually, I recorded a video prior to that, but the moment I finished recording, Disneyland released their information that they were going to close, and I was like, "All right, reshooting it. Let's go."
Yeah, we gotta refilm everything.
And of course, right after posting, Universal announced that they're closing too. So I was like, "All right, well, I think it's a little too late now, but it's been a hectic day to say the least."
Thankfully, I backlogged on content a little bit during this time.
Yeah, I mean, I have I have things on the back burner. We all do. I mean, Drew is a great example of that. He's able to have these videos of these review videos of coasters and stuff. And yeah, I think it's awesome. Like that's a perfect example of still providing valuable content to your viewers. I mean, DSNY Newscast is another perfect example. He's not able to get out to the parks very often, but he still provides that great information. So there is going to be tons of ways for us to still provide content for everybody.
Let's see. People are asking about Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railroad. What's your guys' initial thoughts so far on, I guess, the initial rollout of that attraction? What did you guys think when you first saw those? I'm assuming probably just POVs for both of you, right? None of you have been on it yet.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it looks pretty darn fun.
As like an art standpoint, I used to draw and paint a lot, so when I first looked at that, I was like, "Wow, this is really pretty."
Yeah. One thing I really liked was the water. I don't know if it was like a projection mapping or what exactly they did, but they had the water through the.
Yeah, it looks great.
Man, the water that's on that wall that just flows through that side wall and just kind of goes into that little. That underground area, the sewer, I guess. Man, that is fantastic looking.
It's like cartoon realism.
I love that so much.
Yeah, it is. Especially that scene near the end of the attraction. I mean, spoiler alert, sorry, but where it transitions, like the whole scene just changes, and that is really impressive. And the fact that you can't really tell what is a practical set versus what is projection mapping is pretty amazing.
I think that has been. I think it's an interesting subject because some people are like, oh, we lost a great movie ride for this, but it's I
It's
think,
a good replacement.
and for Disneyland, it's like we don't lose a thing. It's just
And like the great movie ride, like here's the thing. You know, yes, it was a loss. It was a great ride, but things have to change sometimes, and you also have to cater to the new generation. I mean, I'm trying to like. The thing is like Carousel of Progress, for example. Like back in the day, maybe our parents loved that ride, and they were bummed out that they were gonna take it out. But you know what? Today's audience probably doesn't really care for America Sings. So you got to change it, and it's the same thing with Mickey and Minnie's. Like, Great Movie Ride was a wonderful attraction, but its replacement is, I think, just as fantastic in its own way. So I think Mickey and Minnie's is going to be an attraction that stands the test of time, and of course, it's going to be an amazing addition to Disneyland.
think about the park Hollywood Studios just became. Like,
oh yeah, just in the past
crazy.
couple of years, it's become a park that you can get done in like 3 hours to now a park that takes you all day.
right. It's so for today, guys, we aren't going to have Provost in here just for today. That's official. But we will come back. We will do another live stream, and I will do my best to have them in here talking with you guys. But for today, I think we are going to close. So, Drew, any final thoughts in the day? Any parting words you just want to say to them? I said this with Clint as well. There's kind of seems like there's a feeling of a little bit of panic and kind of concern with where we're at as a whole right now. So, do you have any, I guess, just words in general that you would say to someone at this point?
I would say just be cautious. Be careful. Make sure you pay attention if you're like putting your hands in your mouth after touching a railing that potentially other people have touched, or
And those kids.
just wash your hands. That's a great thing. I read a statistic one time that a good third of people don't wash their hands after using the toilet. Like, what are you doing? Wash your hands. It takes 20 seconds, and it might end up helping you not get sick. That's a great thing, right? So. Besides that, I mean, it does stink that we're not going to be able to visit the parks, but it's for our safety, and I can't really complain about that at all. So I just wanted to say again, thank you, though, Dustin, for having me on. This has been a real joy. It's been awesome.
Absolutely. Well, I can't thank you again enough for being here. Dylan, of course, thank you so much for actually coming here and being
It was a great time.
in the Shark Studio with me. Thank you for being here. Thank you to all of you for being here. Thank you so much for spending your Thursday night with us. It means the absolute world to me that you guys do support me. But of course, please do go support Dylan at Theme Park Obsession and Drew at Parks Bros. It means the world to all three of us. So for that, I will leave you guys with a goodbye. Anything left from you?
Just like kind of piggybacking off of Drew, just stay clean, make sure to wash your hands, be cautious, and we'll use this time to just take a break and take a breather. And just kind of hope for the best. And my thoughts go out to those that are really dealing with this at the front line right now. I hope this situation does get better relatively quickly. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for everyone on the planet.
Absolutely. And Provost did just leave a comment that they will join next time when we can all get it set up. Thanks for the shout out. Keep in touch with us. I absolutely will do. And I would be thrilled to have you guys on here, of course. There's a lot we can talk about, of course, with your guys' journey. I know it's been an adventure for you guys, so I would love to talk with you guys. But for that, guys, I will leave you with a goodbye. Have a fantastic rest of your night. Stay safe out there, and keep positive in a time like this. That's what we need to do.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, guys, take care. Have a great night, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.